Hey YouTube, so it's a foggy day, rainy in Pennsylvania today. Our stuff is starting to wind down. You can see the maple leaves are turning already. Some of the beech is turning. I'm probably gonna, if my wife don't get any more beans out of these things, I'm gonna start turning this ground over. I see a couple beans though. I'll turn the ground over, and I just usually put the green bean plants back into the soil. So that's one thing. Not much sun in the greenhouse today, that's for sure. Anyway, you can see I cleaned up everything as far as the cabbage goes. We had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these containers times I think there were 4, so we had like 40 heads of cabbage. We took them off, my wife and I. We cut them up, cut the cabbage up into shredded like, and I made sauerkraut. So I have that in a 5-gallon bucket getting made. It'll be done by October, when was it? I think November 1st, I believe it is. So anyway, what I did then was I took all of these containers, I hosed them off good so they're nice and clean for next year. Now that they're dry, I can actually sort of put them together here, get them out of my way, because God only knows what work I got coming up here next for whatever breaks down. I put this heater in here, have it set at really a low temperature. Right now it's showing 50 degrees outside, which is pretty cool, but it's about the time for this time of the year. I'd like you to take a look at this. This is a tomato vine here. So just backing up, that vine hangs down an easy 6 feet. So 4 feet across the rafters and 10 feet down. That's 20 foot long, that vine is. That's a tomato vine. And I believe, my wife and I were talking, we were so disappointed about the tomatoes. We did not get hardly any tomatoes. And even though I had the garage door and this entry door open, I thought that maybe we would be okay with pollinating. And I remembered that last year I had a fan in the greenhouse and left it run 24/7, or at least during the daytime. Okay, every time I walked in, I turn it on in the morning and let the fan blow. So now I'm believing that, you know, I didn't do that in this greenhouse. I left the fan off because what happened was, when I would walk in the greenhouse and the temperatures were, you know, like 100 degrees, I would turn the fan on because I could barely breathe in there to be able to work in it. But this year the temperatures didn't really get that high because I have this high ceiling, and with the doors open, the vent along here is open, so that would just leave the air go in and back out, and I really wasn't feeling that heat. So I believe that I should have had a lot more air blowing in here to get these to do what they should have done. But yet it's amazing how they still grew. I mean, this plant here is the same way. It grew up all the way up across 4 feet and back down. You can see I still got peppers coming here. I don't think I'm going to have enough time for them to grow too big. Right now they're about a half of a handful there, which needs to be a little bit bigger. That's why I put the heater in here with the thermostat. I had gotten an email, or not an email, but a comment the other day about why these leaves are shriveled up. Something about the calcium in the plant, or in the food. But the thing is it's only one plant. Well, there's 2 plants here that have these shriveled up leaves. The rest of them are actually fairly nice. Although, I guess when you get to the top, maybe there's more than just 2. So anyway, that's where I'm at so far with that. And I do have a couple tomatoes on here. I know you can't really see, there's some tomatoes right up in here and right up in there, but that's about it. So as far as the tomatoes go this year, I consider it a flop. At least I had 40 heads of cabbage to be able to make sauerkraut out of, so that'll last us all of next year. In fact, I think we still have 1 or 2 containers of sauerkraut left from last year yet. So we should be in good shape with that. The peppers that do come off here, and before it gets too cold, what we'll do is we'll dice them up, or she'll slice them up and put them in baggies and freeze them, or she'll cut them in half and make stuffed peppers out of those. She even freezes some of them, and they still work out pretty good even if they're frozen. They're not, very real firm, but they're good. Okay guys, so if you're keeping track of my greenhouse, I didn't give you a good example this year of how things can be. I fixed about 5 different trucks that had problems. Some I got on tape, some I didn't. I did some construction work on the house I'm building. I did some work around my house, and the summer just seemed to fly by. I guess you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty much home all the time, and that's how things are. And I can imagine you younger people who have jobs and kids, you're trying to take care of all that. It's tough. Just keep going, you'll get there. So anyway, I'm glad the greenhouse worked out nice though through the summer. I thought it might get so hot in here it would be unbearable, but it was nice. The only thing is I'm going to figure out where to put a fan, and I'm going to put a really good fan in here next year to make sure that this stuff blows around good. But for now, I'm going to use this heater. 150 means 150,000 BTUs to heat this place up to hopefully get these peppers to grow. I'm probably using a lot more fuel than what the cost of the peppers is, but people who grow stuff like me, you know that that's not the point. Alright guys, so have a good day. Bye.